Hello, Athena.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey, thank you for joining us.
Oh, you got it. All the way from the East Coast over here.
Oh, you're on the East Coast right now?
Yes, sir.
Oh my goodness. So you were up kind of late. Sorry about that.
Oh no, that's totally fine. Totally fine.
But we're glad you're able to take some time to join us and talk a little bit about your experiences on the Hero and how you heard about it and so forth. And we'll start that off. That's actually a good question. How did you come about to hear about the Hero, the TV show The Hero, and how did you go about your auditioning for it? How did you hear about it? Just start off with that.
Yeah, you got it. It was an open casting call, so it was kind of all over the internet. And when The Rock's name is on something, you know it's going to be big. So my casting company, Boston Casting, actually sent me out an email the night before the auditions in Boston, and I actually couldn't make it, so I just sent in my resume and some pictures. I guess being a Patriots cheerleader and sending in photos of that didn't hurt my chances.
That's true, but you know what, though? The people are looking past that stereotype, as you made it clear. You're proven to the world so far that you are one great hero.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to use your resources to get heard, and I do have a story,
exactly.
And I did have a point. So I got there so I could open my mouth and tell everyone.
But, so what was it? I mean, how did you come about to find out that you were selected? Did they just call you, email you, reach out to you, or did even The Rock reach out to you?
Yeah, they kind of just gave me a call back. It was interview after interview. It is a very long process, but in Panama it was pretty cool because The Rock pulled each and every one of us aside once we wrapped, and he was like, you know what, I handpicked all of you. I had a hand in picking you. My daughter had a hand in picking you. So he was involved clearly from the beginning. He knew all of our stories when we got there.
But what I want to know
that's what I definitely like to hear. Yeah. Go ahead, Austin.
How intimidating was it to be, working with The Rock?
The first time I met him, I was so nervous and so starstruck, which is weird because I've been around celebrities and pro athletes pretty much my whole life. So once I got used to it, it was totally cool. It was just like, oh, hey, Dwayne, you're just chilling in our house. Like, oh, he's here. Something bad must be happening. All right, let's all listen to him. So after a while and after the millions of temptations he offered me, I kind of got used to him popping out of trees and offering me money.
That is pretty funny. So what was it like? Were you kind of nervous going into the house, not knowing who you were going to meet and so forth? Were you afraid that you were going to be targeted? What were your thoughts going into the process and meeting the people for the first time that they ended up being your fellow contestants?
Yeah, I thought it would be more of a younger crowd, and come to find out, Marty and I were the youngest at 24 years old. So I mean, I was living with people double my age, and I thrive from environments, or I thrive off of environments like that. I love being thrown into situations that I don't know how to handle, and I love meeting new people. I was on a team of 24 plus women for 3 different years, and the second you're on the team, you're thrown into a hotel room and you're living with them for a couple weeks filming a calendar. I worked for Disney World. I lived with friggin' 15 other people I didn't know down in Disney, just flew there. So it's cool. I love situations like that. So this one was a little more difficult because of the age differences, I think.
So living together with a bunch of people you didn't know was pretty much comfortable for you. It was like a cakewalk, but coming into it, like the age difference, did you quickly hit it off with any particular contestant? I mean, obviously they showed that you were at least close to Sean when, of course, at the time of his departure, you guys were pretty good buddies because they kind of think you two out at one point.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I did. I hung out with mostly Sean and Rachel while I was down there, but I definitely hit it off with Rachel from the second we walked into the house, and I still talk to her pretty much every day. We were roommates on the show. So that, I mean, there is an age difference there, and she always calls me her little sister, but for some reason, I don't feel it as much with her. And then I hit it off with Dave, actually. Dave was really cool, and I'm sure America saw in the last episode. That was our big bonding experience last episode. We were on that boat and on that bus for hours and just had each other. So those two, I would say, I got really close with.
You know, it must have actually sucked because it was, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago. Sean was voted off the show, and I think the week after, Rachel was also. So it must have really sucked that you had to be, both your friends in the contest were like taken away.
Seriously, and I started questioning, like, well, maybe I am friends with the wrong people. I'm a bad judge of character, but I really am not. And I think that people just started playing the game and eliminating those that they thought would knock them out, which sucks. But, yeah, and then there was a big joke on Twitter. Everyone was saying, Charles, run, Patty, run. Anyone who's friends with Dina is going to get kicked off. So maybe that's true. We'll see.
Now, out of all the type of challenges you guys got to do, was there one that just seemed so incredibly tough? Out of the ones we've seen so far, I know you don't want to let the cat out of the bag about the ones coming up, but were there any particular ones that you, like, you're glad you did it and got it over with because you never want to do it again kind of thing? Those kind of challenges? Was there any ones that kind of stood out to you like that?
Yeah, I mean, they were all so different that I hated and loved so much of each challenge. But Cologne was probably the hardest. I don't know. Watching it was totally different than living it, and we ran for hours in streets covered in children and wild dogs and animals and piss and shit. It was awful. It was literally, and it was dangerous, very, very dangerous, and no one saw that. So rewatching that one, I kind of called Rachel. I was like, dude, how did we live through that? It was insane. The snakes wasn't bad. I mean, the flash flooding from the last one that they didn't show was pretty scary. We were freezing in the rain when we had to use the primitive tools and stuff. But, I mean, they all sucked equally, to be honest.
So when did the actual, taping for the show begin?
We started filming, I believe, back in February.
That back?
I think we filmed filmed 7 episodes, and now America will vote Thursday. And we'll see who wins, and they'll film the finale.
Definitely. So that means that the finale is right around the corner then.
It is, yeah. It's actually going to air August 1st.
Oh, nice.
So we'll keep in line. It'll keep going on our Thursday ritual for a couple more weeks.
Awesome. I was hoping it wouldn't end anytime soon. I didn't realize it was only for a few episodes, but judging by the popularity of it, there could be a second season. Definitely look forward to that if that happens.
You know what? I'm really hoping for it.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And I'm assuming they'll keep it an open casting call. I know I see people asking all the time online, how do I get involved? But I'm sure they will make it well known if there's a second season and how to get involved. So people should just keep watching.
And you know, it's just like one of these shows where I don't think I can see another cast being as awesome as this cast was, because it's it's gonna be hard to watch the second season.
Yeah, this was a pretty vibrant cast, a bunch of loud people. And,
that's for sure.
It was, yeah, I'm always the top dog everywhere I go because I never shut up and I'm loud. And I walked into this house and I was like, okay, I guess I'll shut my mouth now because there's 8 other people louder than me.
But at the end of the day, though, looking back on this experience, you've also gained new friends the friendships that will last a lifetime with you.
Yep, hopefully Dwayne Johnson, too, will be my friend forever.
And when you actually, speaking of, we'll go off the subject just quickly, since you obviously knew what world Dwayne came from, did you ever actually watch him while he was wrestling for the WWE?
Oh, yeah, I actually grew up on WWF, so when he was,
of course.
wrestling Shawn Michaels, and I was more of a Shawn Michaels girl, and I definitely had an Austin 316 shirt, I'm not going to lie, but You know, I don't watch much of it now. I know my little brothers do. They're crazy about it, but he's in so much that you don't even have to watch wrestling to see him anymore.
No, that's true. That is true. He's done something that really nobody's been able to do. I mean, no disrespect to anybody else, but he's kind of surpassed a lot of the wrestlers that leave the wrestling world to pursue a movie career. He's really just kind of in a world of his own because nobody's been able to do what he's done.
Oh yeah, he owns the industry right now. Owns it. He's good for him. He's so down to earth and such a cool, chill guy that he deserves it 110%. I know his daughter was there for a couple of the days we were filming, and she is so sweet, and you can tell he just raised her right, and to be so busy and still be able to raise a child and build your business like he did, he's awesome. Yeah,
no doubt. Now, do you get did you ever get was it like people give you a hard time for taking a couple of the taking the money at one point when he'd offered it to you?
Oh my God!
Did they give you a hard time for it?
Me. Oh yeah, it was awful. And we walked into the house thinking we don't have to tell each other anything. I walked in, I don't need friends, I don't want friends, I'm not going to try to fight and talk over you people. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, if someone doesn't know something about you or anything about you, they're sending you home. So I took money. They didn't know my background. They didn't know.
True.
They thought I was just taking it to take it. And you know what? I was taking it to take care of my brother. And I went on this show to be his hero. So I don't give
you don't give a
flying about them or what they think. But yeah, once the game changed, it was like I wish I had kind of opened up to a couple people. But yeah, they crucified me, every single one of them. Sean stuck up for me. Rachel kind of stayed quiet, but the rest of them were wild animals.
You know, if I was actually in your place, I would have took the money each time Rock, did his little popped out of whatever he popped out of. Yeah, eliminated situations. But I would take the money every single time because I wouldn't. I would at least want to go home with something because before, from the first 3 episodes, you had no idea that people would be starting to get sent home a few episodes after that. So, and then people got to get shocked because, I could have took the money, and now I have a chance of getting sent home, and now I don't really have a chance. Somewhat.
Well, I think it has a lot to do with people looking at the meaning of the word hero and what they feel it defines, and that's another reason why I think a lot of people turn the money away.
Right, and to me, to be a hero to your family, isn't that all that counts? I'm not going to meet all of these people in America who think I'm cool or pretty. Honestly, people would vote for me because I'm pretty. Whoop-de-doo. That doesn't make me a hero. Listen to my story was my point. But when do these people step up and put their family first? In the last episode, Charles, at the end, turned down $70,000. His wife is sitting there on the Jumbotron. He didn't even get her a wedding ring because she supposedly didn't want one. Well, every girl wants a wedding ring. Take $70,000 and go bring her somewhere. Or Patty working 5 jobs. You were offered hundreds of thousands of dollars. Take the money. I just don't see it. I don't see something wrong with it. Lydia wants to open an orphanage. Then why didn't you take $70,000 and put it toward an orphanage? I just don't get it.
That's true. And
same exact thing.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, like you said, everyone has a different definition of a hero. So if it's so morally wrong to take money, then that's their opinion.
And at this point, what was it? When you got off the plane in I'm sorry, they're in Panama. Correct me if I'm wrong. You guys were in Panama?
Yeah.
I don't know why I forgot the city, but when you arrived there, was it was it the first time that you'd ever left the country to travel to another country, or if not, what was this experience like when you first got off the plane? What were you thinking? What were your thoughts?
We kind of didn't know much until the night before. We found out where we were going the day before.
Oh, wow.
So it was a big secret. Yeah, it was crazy. And I have traveled. I've been out of the country a bunch of times for cheering. We shot our calendars in Jamaica and in Dominican and Aruba. Cool. So I have traveled. I've experienced a ton of things. I got to cheer at the Super Bowl last year, or 2012. So I've had a wild ride, but nothing compares to walking into a $3 million penthouse and living there just because someone thought you and 8 other people were cool enough to do that. So it was different.
And at this point, since looking back on the show and you get to watch it, do you get those? I think you briefly touched on it. Like you look back and you're watching the show now with everybody else, and you're thinking, and were you ever thinking like, God, what was I thinking when I did this, or why did I say that, or how it's always awkward looking at yourself after you've already done what you've done and getting to watch it on TV. Do you ever get any of those thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think my first and biggest mistake was backing down in the very first episode and not going on the challenge because, I mean, it was kind of set in stone with 3 guys, 3 girls were going, and then Sean threw his bitch fit. And I was like, all right, fine, like, I'll sit this one out. And right there, they nailed me. Everyone in the house, I hung myself. They were like, this girl's weak. She's a stupid cheerleader. She's not going to go in any of the other challenges. So, like, that was a huge mistake. And then after that, every time I was offered money, I should have taken it. Like, you guys kind of said that there's 7 or 8 people going home with absolutely nothing because they wanted to win that $600,000 or whatever it is, and they're going home with absolutely nothing. So I'm not a greedy person, but I think I would have played the game differently and strategically from the beginning if I could do it again.
Now, if they do bring back a second season, and I've seen from past reality shows that have been done, that they sometimes would bring back former members of the first season of the cast. If they approached you to to appear, offer advice, talk of your experience or what have you, to come back and talk to the new cast, would that be something you'd want to do?
Oh my God, absolutely! That would be totally cool. I feel like I have a lot of. I got to do a lot on the show. I believe I was in every challenge except for the first episode. I did every part, at least one part in every show. So I have a lot to share. And you know what? If they're coming in, they're scared. They're not going to let you die, I don't think. So that would be my biggest advice to them. But yeah, that would be totally cool.
And if you actually, well, let me ask, as far as now, after the show concludes, Where do you see yourself doing now for the future?
Yeah, I mean, I've been asked that a lot lately, and I've done really cool things. I danced for Disney World. After that, I cheered for 3 years for the Patriots, and then this kind of tops it all. So I think now after this, and sitting and thinking about it and pondering, I just want to just start a normal life, I think, and just kind of hang back and start a normal life with a normal schedule, because the traveling and the filming and it's actually very tiring, and people think it's all smiles and all fun, but it kills me.
No doubt.
That's why I'm surprised with The Rock, because The Rock, with his schedule for when he was with wrestling, was like 365 days a year, mostly every single day of the whole entire year. And he's still going at it, and it amazes me. It's such inspiration.
Oh, seriously, we were in Panama. I think he flew out to Buffalo, filmed or wrestled, and then flew back. Before we even knew he left, he was back. And I was like, okay, you just flew from Panama to Buffalo, New York. Like, what? We didn't even know. He was probably up doing cardio at 4 a.m. anyway.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he usually keeps track and posts things early in the morning. But he also, I know he was at WrestleMania this year in Jersey. So yeah, since you guys are saying you started filming back in February, that had to have been a crazy schedule.
Oh yeah.
But as far as reality shows, other than The Hero, do you follow any other reality shows, or have in the past?
I usually watch them right at the end. I'm like a bandwagon fan, so I'll watch The Bachelorette when there's like 3 guys left. And Dancing with the Stars is my next venture. I'd love to be on that. But yeah, I only watch them at the end when it counts.
Interesting.
You know, with the Hero, this show, I never was really a fan of watching challenge shows. And I'm not saying, people always tell me, oh, you're just watching this because The Rock's the host. I'm like, no, you have to actually see it for yourself in order to actually, you get hooked. because it's so good. The concept of the show and everything about it was so intriguing to me. And I just kept on watching, every single week. It was awesome,
I know, I kept watching too and screaming at the TV, and I even know what happened, and I was like, what are you doing? Is Charles going to make it? Like, oh my God, because it's intense, and it's different when you watch it too.
Now, if you actually, let me rephrase this question. If you got opportunity to pursue, because you mentioned the acting, or not the acting, but the whole filming of the project, was pretty long and tiring. If at any time in the future, we'll just say Rock comes to you and asks if you'd like to be a part in one of his movies, would the normal life be put on hold? What's that?
I mean, yeah, that would probably be pretty cool. Yeah, I would do. He was so awesome to work with. I would definitely do anything for him. He was cool guy.
Do you still keep in contact with him?
Barely. I tweet at him a ton, so sometimes he answers that, but he's a busy guy. I've heard from him like once since we've been back, but it's been crazy.
And how is your brother doing now, if you don't mind me asking?
He is living and surviving. He has a solid head on his shoulders. And he doesn't really let a lot bother him. I think the family we were more, we were upset more by the stroke. I mean, he had a brainstem tumor when he was little, so then growing up was tough, and then the stroke happened. So he can't drive. He's very shaky. He gets dizzy and his head buzzes 24/7. I went out to lunch with him today, and he kind of had to stop eating and just sit there for a second, and that'll be there forever. So it's a long road to recovery.
But I can tell definitely how much you care about him, how much you express that on the show, and even just by reading some of the information as far as who you are and what you're representing as far as the hero goes, I can tell how close you are with your brother.
Oh yeah, I'd kill for him. That's really my only thing. If you speak ill of my family, my brother or my mom, I will lose my mind. So when they started talking on the show like they knew anything about me or my family or my brother, and Lydia questioning the way I was raised, shut your mouth. That's where it stops, because I will lose my mind for my family.
Absolutely.
And that's just happened with Patty. Patty was instantly judged because she was I don't know how old she is, but she's a mom and stuff like that, and people thought she was weak when she showed a lot of courage this entire season. She was scared of heights at first, when the first episodes, and both of you, it's just awesome to see.
Yeah, she's Patty and I went back and forth. We kind of had a bond, and then we'd go at it and scream at each other, and I think it was just living with each other. But she is a very strong woman. The only thing I didn't like about Patty was the need to be in the spotlight the whole time, and I need this for my kids, and I need this, and I need that. And we were all there to prove ourselves. So that was the only thing that I thought was a little selfish. But, I mean, she kicked ass. And she's actually a very genuine woman. So America thinks she's being fake on the show. She's not. She really is scared of everything. And she does cry a lot, but she is a sweetheart.
But speaking of America, as we stated earlier, that tomorrow night on The Hero, America can start voting on who will be eliminated. And out of all of you guys, it'll be done throughout the show, or will it be ultimately down? Obviously, it'll be ultimately down to one person. But the voting starts tomorrow. How can they actually vote? I mean, obviously they'll tell more about it tomorrow on the show. Can they do it online, or?
Yeah, tomorrow night, voting opens up at 9 p.m. So our show airs 8 o'clock Eastern time. So you guys will be behind us a little, but it'll open up at 9 p.m. You can vote. Probably the easiest way on Facebook will go right to the Rock Facebook page. Then you can vote on there. You can vote on Twitter. They'll tell you how to text in, call in. So there's a ton of different ways. And I believe I'm told, or I read, this could be a rumor, I know about as much as everyone else does, but that each person vote up to 10 times. So we will see tomorrow night. I'm kind of learning alongside America, but yeah, voting will happen tomorrow, and you can definitely do it on Facebook, Twitter, or call or text in.
You gotta love social media. Everywhere on the social media, there's ways of doing things now. I mean, 15 years ago or so, it wouldn't have been none of that. And, of course, realities kind of started kicking in.
Yeah.
Reality shows started kicking in about 14 years ago, roughly. Did you ever watch any shows like Fear Factor or stuff like that?
I was a Real World girl when it first started.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. And then, I mean, everyone watches that Big Brother show. I've never really seen that. I think the difference between the hero cast and a lot of reality TV show casts is that we went into it not to get famous and not to be on TV. It was just kind of to go and do something cool and kick ass.
Exactly.
And a lot of the other shows is for fame and fortune. And let me tell you, you're getting nothing but bad reputations from The Real World or Bad Girls Club. And I know The Rock would never put anything crappy on his name. So that's kind of why I signed up for it.
That's cool. Yeah, no, that's right. And most people, when they first, I think what it is they use The Rock a little bit to get people to tune in, and once they realized they had such an awesome cast, Rock kind of just stepped out of the way, and you guys were the ones to shine.
Yeah, and I mean, everything kind of happened, and everything was random. Nothing was staged. So it was weird to see it play out. And if the producers could have planned everything, I think they would have wanted it to play out the way it did. Like all the shocks and the who got sent home, and it was Sean instead of me, and then Rachel instead of me, and America's holding their breath. It was not planned, but it worked out really cool, I think.
That's cool. And did you have another question for Austin?
Yeah, one more for me. I was going to say that you talked about your Dallas Cowboys cheerleading. You were with them for like 3 years. Well, what made you stop leaving the team?
Oh no, it was the Patriots. Go Pats. But yeah, I did 3 years. They retire you after 3 years. A lot of the teams don't have year limits, but the Patriots do. I believe they just changed it to 4 years. So I could go back and do another year, but I've already got my retirement ring, and they sent me on my way, which is fine. After about 3 years, you kind of get burnt out anyway.
Oh.
And how did you audition to go about being a part of the cheerleading team? Did they have something at open casting as well? Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was open casting, but my mom was a Pats cheerleader, so
nice.
I kind of always wanted to do it. Yeah, I thought that was cool growing up. So, just open call. I did get cut the first time I auditioned, which kind of stunk, but I mean, it put things into perspective. I worked on some stuff, and then I went back a couple of years later, and I made it, which made it worth it. Made it that much cooler. So I did that for 3 years, and it was just an open casting call.
So in this case, I think we touched on it just a little bit. After the hero is concluded, will that have been the last we've seen of Athena Lazo?
Stay tuned. No, I'm not sure. I would love to get into something. I spoke about my want for a normal schedule and a normal routine, but I mean, if opportunity comes around and shows its face, I'm not gonna knock it down. So we'll see. If something comes to me, I'm not gonna pursue anything. I don't want to be famous or an actress or anything like that, but definitely if
you just want to be normal. Be the normal Athena Lazo.
Yep, but just like the hero fell into my lap, if something falls into my lap, then I will take it on.
And for fans who want to keep up with you as far as what you're doing now, watching the hero and so forth, or even afterwards, how can people reach out to you on social media?
All right, I'm on Twitter literally 24/7. So that's at Athena Lazo, Lazo, and then my Facebook fan page is facebook.com/Lazo Athena, Lazo Athena. So those are my two big ones. I do have an Instagram. It's just Athena Lazo. So just if you Google me, you'll find it.
And
at this point, I want to ask Austin, did you have another question?
No, my last question was the other one, but I really want to say I have a bunch of respect for you. Everything they've done in this on the Hero and past stuff. Much respect for everything you do.
Very cool. Thanks, dude.
At this point, yes, we will be rooting for you. Once we find out the details on the voting, we'll definitely be casting our votes. We don't want to see you go yet, but we also wanted to mention too that next week we're going to have one of your buddies on the show. We're going to have Darnell.
Oh, Darnell, he's so fun too. You love talking to him. He is awesome.
Yeah, he was a great character and took one heck of a shot to the head with that wrench, poor guy. I saw the big old knot on his head. Oh, my God.
Yeah, he will keep you laughing the whole time now. He is awesome.
But, yes, we'll be rooting for you. We'll be watching, and we want to, on behalf of Austin, we thank you so very, very much to take time out of your schedule to sit down and chat with us about your experience on The Hero and what it was like to meet The Rock and so forth. It has been, and indeed, a great show, and you've been such a delight to have. Austin, did you have any final words for Miss Lazo?
In Marty's words, you are beast.
All right, cool. Thanks, guys.
You have yourself a good night.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Bye-bye.
Good night.